All right, Kasston, how you doing today, bro?
Doing good, bro.
That's good. That's good. So first, this is a question from me. I want to know how you came up with your name. Is that your real name or?
So it's actually a family name. The most like notable person in my family to do music. His name was Leonard Baby Dude Kasston, and that's spelled Caston. So I just took the K because my first name started with a K, and then stylized it. You know what I mean, my own way. So that's how we got here.
Where'd you get the Cohart from? Because I see your Instagram handle is Cohart Cast. So what does a Cohart mean?
Shoot, it was just me being witty. Honestly, like I thought of Cold Hard Cash because like I tried to change my at name and my tag like every 6 months or so. So I finally like came up with one that I felt would stick for a minute and I could actually market some sort of way. So I stuck with Cold Hard Cash because you know what I mean. Eventually, it's gonna be Cold Hard Cash. So
That's that's amazing, bro.
you know.
So I want to kind of start at the beginning. So where did you grow up?
So I was actually born in Wisconsin, a town called Racine. Then I moved to San Diego when I was 10, like fifth grade. So I call San Diego home. It's pretty much all I know. And yeah, man, I'm really glad to have grown up in a place like this. You know, hella different experiences. So it really shaped me.
So would you say, if someone were to ask you, would you say you're from San Diego or would you say you're from Wisconsin?
I'm from San Diego. Yeah.
Do you remember at all what it was like growing up in Wisconsin?
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause like I said, I was there till I was 10. So like, most of my family's back there. So like, it's just those memories kind of stick with you, especially when you move to a place like this. Most of them don't come with you. You know what I mean? So like, you hold on to those memories. So I for sure remember.
So did you come out here because your family was in the military, or do you know at all why you came out here in the first place?
Yeah, actually. So my aunt was in the military. She was stationed out here. My grandma ended up moving out here, and then we ended up following right after. So I mean, it was kind of like a chain effect. So one once we found out my auntie was out here, my grandma was out here, we all just decided to make the move, and it's worked out for us.
Do you guys have accents in Wisconsin?
It's funny because actually when I moved out here, people thought I had some sort of accent, and I couldn't recognize it, of course, but they said that I talked weird or some shit. So if that's the case, we probably got some sort of accent. I know the white people got accents. I don't know about the black people though.
How would you say living in Wisconsin is like compared to living out here?
Um, Man, I don't know. It's something about knowing you're gonna get sunshine every day. You know what I mean? Like, granted, the weather's different because it snows out there and whatnot, but it's so much more to do in San Diego, and that's no knock to Racine. It's just the type of place that it is. You know what I mean? Um, I just don't. There's only been like a handful of people that really prosper out the city, so I'm definitely gonna add my name to the list. But as far as just lifestyle, man, San Diego's where it's at. It's like aside from the weather, the recreation, just everything about it, man.
So do you know anyone from Wisconsin that has kind of blew up, or even like a local act that you can think of off the top of your head?
Oh yeah, there's this cat Ishtar from back in the day. I used to listen to heavy. I'm pretty sure he's still doing his thing now. My cousin out in Racine doing his thing. PSD Lipe. My boy Marathon P. So it's a whole lot of like talent out there. They just now starting to branch out though, so it's good to see.
Do you ever go back and visit, or are you pretty much out here most of your time?
Yeah, I'm definitely out here most of the time. I haven't been back in like at least like 8+ years. I was in high school last time I went, so but yeah, I need to go back see my fam out there.
You got any friends out there still?
I'm sure it's a couple people I remember, but not nobody I really keep in contact with.
Okay. Okay. So jumping into the music, how long have you been rapping?
This is going on my third year now.
Why did you start rapping to begin with?
Rap, it's always been a part of me, honestly. Like before I even got the courage to rap, I always wanted to be a producer. That's what I tell people. I just wanted to be a producer. But like realistically, in the back of my mind, I wanted to rap the whole time. I didn't get the confidence till I was like 19 years old to finally start writing shit. So I mean, the day I got in the studio, I did like 3 tracks the first day, and then ever since then I just never looked back, man. I like the way I sounded. I like the process of it, so I just fell in love with it.
So do you still produce now?
Barely. I write more than I produce, so like I try to focus on something to write every single day, and then if I can't do that, then I'm making beats. My computer's kind of ass right now, but I work with what I got and I'm making it happen. So
Compared to how many beats versus songs you've made, what would you say like the ratio is?
like 10 to 1. 10 to 1. I write way more.
Do you like your beats more? Is it quality over quantity with the beats, or is it just kind of
For
whatever?
me, I was trying to do quality over quantity. So like I know, same thing with writing. It's like you can make 100 beats, only a couple of them might be really good. You know what I mean? So I be trying to perfect shit because I feel so. I be putting pressure on myself. You know what I mean? So like if it don't sound good, then I won't do nothing with it. So
Have you ever did the J. Cole or the Russ thing where you write, produce, mix, and master the song from top to bottom, like you make the whole thing?
nah, I have not. I have not done that. I mean, I tried a few times. You know, I got like so much knowledge as far as all the technicals with the computer, but um, I have no problem paying somebody to do something that they're better than me at. You know what I mean? So I go and I break bread with these engineers out here. That way I can get my sound sounding right, and until I learn how to do it for myself, that's the way it's got to be.
Have you rapped on any of your beats?
Only for a freestyle that I dropped, but not no songs that I dropped.
When you make a beat, are you making it around a song you have in your head, or are you making it from scratch, and then if you want to use it later on, you
Hmm.
use it? Is that how it goes, or
It kind of goes both ways, honestly. So it's like, of course, every artist comes up with these melodies in the head, and then you go try to execute it. But most of the time, I like sitting down and seeing what kind of sounds I can get out the computer. Like go through the whole catalog. I play with every single thing. I be going down the damn thing for 30 minutes, just listening to each sound, trying to find the right one to use.
is it possible to kind of freestyle making a beat, or is that impossible when it comes to making beats? Is it too technical?
I wouldn't say it's impossible. I mean, granted, like I feel like during that process, you're always trying to like connect concepts together. As you're doing the beat, thinking of the song at the same time. So, but I mean, I haven't really like done it to really, what I mean, to really speak on it. But yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say it's impossible.
How long was it? So were you making beats first before you started rapping?
Yes.
How long was it before you started rapping?
Shoot. After because when I started making beats, it was like right before I had left Cali to move to Colorado for a minute. So after that move, I stopped making beats and just focused on the writing. So probably like I'd say like within 4 months, you know what I mean. I was barely getting my feet wet with the beat making, and then just moved straight to writing because that was my strong suit. So I just focused on that.
What was the move to Colorado about?
So my whole family ended up going. It was just we didn't get tired of Dago, but it was getting expensive for where we were at, financially. So we decided to make the move. But I mean, like shortly after we even moved there, everybody ended up making their way back here anyway. So, I'm just glad to be back home, man.
Did you guys all come back together?
Nah, it was kind of individual, man. A lot of shit behind the scenes happened, but it was good that everybody was able to still make the move, and then, everything resolved itself.
All right. So going more into the music, how would you describe your style?
I would say my style is realistic, man. Like everything I do, I feel like it's dope. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna give nobody something that I personally don't like. So you know what I mean? I feel like I do right from my own perspective, but I also try to think about what people like. But my style is it's like I said, it's realistic. It's laid back. I do some hyphy shit. It's versatile. You know what I mean? So I got multiple bags. I'm just trying to display that to the world.
What style would you say like is your signature? Like the one it's always your bag.
Like the old, not old school beats, but like conscious beats, but not necessarily always like a conscious message. So I like taking what's supposed to sound like you're supposed to be rapping deep on, flip the script, and then do the vice versa with like fast beats. So yeah, man, it's just different twist to the style. You gotta keep switching it up and stay fresh.
So obviously we all want to be individuals,
Hmm.
but when it comes to things like music and like producing
Hmm.
and things like that, obviously we're going to be inspired by multiple people.
Hmm.
We're going to pick up some elements from other people. Who would you say right now, let's say if you could pick someone that's in the industry and is famous,
Hmm.
who would you say someone that's kind of similar to you in terms of your rap style?
Similar to me, I mean, it's kind of like influences, I mean, in the same breath. So I mean, I always give love to Griselda, Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher, West Side Guns, kind of in his own lane as far as the rapping, but they all go hard. I give my respect to them. Cole, I feel like Cole always finds a way to stay relevant. He stays with the times. K Dot's probably my favorite artist. I feel like I got a lot of similarities to him just because, I mean, hell, him and Cole, they're, of course, two of the people that I study all the time. But I mean, I try to watch everybody's moves, but definitely I feel like they're closer to like my style and my range of like music.
So, Griselda, Benny,
Mm.
Cole, Kendrick. Is that like your top four? Is that your Mount Rushmore?
Oh nah, my Mount Rushmore crazy. We'll probably be here all day, but I
Give me
mean,
four, a quick four for your Mount Rushmore.
okay, Cole, K. Dot, Black Thought, Hove.
Hmm. Who would you put over who? Kendrick or Cole?
Kendrick, just for the fact of like, I feel like all around musically, he's more talented. But Cole is more the reason why I started rapping in the first place.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So are these all people you listened to when you were younger and you continue to listen to them now, or
Oh yeah, like
after you started making music?
it was probably like early high school, man. Like I remember exactly what homie put me on a Cole, what homie put me on a K. Dot. So like, I mean, even to this day, even though K. Dot ain't dropped in a minute, we still waiting on that. But it's all good. I still listen to shit like every other day. I listen to Cole every other day. So it really don't stop with these guys. You know what I mean? Once you make timeless music, you can keep listening to that shit over and over and over.
So, do you have a favorite album from any of those people?
Um, Favorite Cole album is Born Sinner.
That's good.
Favorite K. Dot album, To Pimp a Butterfly. That's my shit.
Okay.
I was
So
gonna go Jay-Z.
if you had to listen, you got Jay Z too.
American Gangster for Jay.
American Gangster. So, if you were stranded on a deserted island
Mhm.
and you can only choose one album, which one would it be?
Probably the Graduation album by Kanye.
So
Yeah.
you have you name me kind of your 4 or 5 favorite artists, but none of them have the music that you would listen to if you only had to choose one. Why is that?
Well, cause Kanye is one of my favorite artists too. I just, the list is, like I said, my list can go on forever. But Kanye musically, like, of course I feel like it's undeniable. He's one of the greatest of the generation. So his versatility, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, what he can do and what he's done. So, like, I feel like I've always felt more confident and more in my place listening to Kanye West. You know what I mean? So, like, if I was stranded, that's something I'd listen to because I'd feel confident that, you know what I mean, I'm gonna make it out. I'd feel confident that, like, I'd create something greater than what's happening around me. So that's definitely what I do.
Okay, now tell me a favorite song of yours that you made.
Probably Where I Belong. Came out on my last EP, The Pain of Discipline, that dropped in December. So you want me to get like a background on the song?
Yes.
So with that song, I had there's like a little like rap convention or something happening here, just a small event, and there was like a cipher for different artists who showed up. I showed up thinking it was my time, and ended up getting embarrassed, but it was because of my own actions. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I just didn't approach the situation the right way, and I mean, as it happened, like I said, I felt embarrassed, and I told my homie, who's my manager too, I was like, hey, I'm gonna rap about this shit, because I didn't freeze up on the mic, but they had like switched the beat on me, and it was a whole awkward mess, man. But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna rap about this shit, and literally later that night, I went ahead and just wrote that fucking song, and I feel like the whole song just pieces itself together so well because the shit really happened. It happened like in that chronological order that I even rapped it in the song. So that's probably one of my favorites for sure.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how embarrassed were you?
Shit, I was probably, man, at least a 8. Like, I know people mess up and shit, but the way I had messed up and I was trying to get respect from like my peers, you know what I'm saying? So like, I went out there fucked up, and it was like I have to redeem myself some sort of way, like, cause they can't just think I'm whack, So I ended up, after I messed up, I ended up rapping something, but then after I rapped it, I slammed the mic and walked off. So like, I'm pretty sure that character kind of like, for people who don't know me, was like, oh man, look at him, he's a sore loser, you know what I mean? Whatever they wanted to think. So that's what I was going through in my head. So I had to find a way to redeem myself, and I think I did with that EP.
Okay. So did that discourage you from wanting to rap, or did it light a fire under you? And
Oh, fire, man! It lit a fucking fire. Like I said, like, after that is when I ended up finishing like that song and a few others to ended up completing my EP. So I I just want to let people know, even though I messed up, I'm not scared to rap. I'm still here to do this shit.
Okay. So take me through your songwriting process.
So it varies, man. Like, cause I write songs at work, I write songs at home. If I'm at home, honestly, I like to smoke, just kick back. I like to be by myself. I like to be isolated. Pretty much everybody around me understand that. Like, if I'm by myself, I'm writing something deep. I just need to be focused. If I'm out and about, it usually comes in just bars. So like, if I'm at work, I usually don't have the time to sit and write a whole song. So I'll just write a few bars in my notebook at my lunchtime. If I get a quick break, I'm writing bars, and then it all comes together in the studio.
So when you're piecing together these bars, are you trying to make a cohesive piece of work, or are you just trying to get the song done and using whatever you have to get the song done?
I like it all to be cohesive, man. Like, I mean, there's different situations. Like, if I'm just trying to write, then that case, I'm just writing whatever comes out. But then usually I won't use that for a song. But I feel like every song that I do, it's always cohesive some sort of way. Excuse me. But definitely, I always try to make sure like everything's piecing together, everything makes sense together, because I feel like you're leading people other directions if you don't stick to the topic. You know what I mean?
Have you ever went to the studio and freestyled a song?
Never.
So you're a writer.
Writer, man.
Do you think that's one of the strongest things about your music?
Absolutely, but I feel like it's still good. So like, I don't put out a lot of freestyle videos, but like whenever I'm out and about, I just freestyle about anything. People give me words and I try to rhyme whatever I can. And like I said, you can't be afraid to mess up in that shit because it's freestyling. You gotta have fun with it. So doing that all the time. But yeah, whenever I go to the studio, I try to have literally everything broken down already, like how I want to execute it. Cause shit, you paying for that time, man. It's like, don't waste his time, don't waste your time.
What's the longest you've locked yourself in the studio for?
Probably only like 5 hours, honestly. That's been my longest session. Yeah, 5 hours. I mean, there was times where like I'm making music with homies and you'll be there all night and shit, but I didn't get the same quality out of that. So that's why I just take my time, go to somebody who's gonna do it right, do it fast, knock it out.
So I'm gonna hit you another ratio. Compared to how many songs you make, like how many songs you write, how many songs you record, and how many songs you actually put out. How many would you say if you were to write 100 songs? Out of those 100 songs, how many would you record? And out of those that you record, how many would you actually put out?
Out of 100, at least like 75 to 80. Cause like I said, like shit, most of the time I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I'm not one of them artists who got a whole bunch of shit just stashed and tucked. You know what I mean? Like, I feel it, I write it, and I put it out. Like, I'm confident in myself. I'm not about to just put something out there that I don't feel confident in. So like, that's how it is for me. Like, I don't hold on to nothing. Like, I get it and give it to the people.
Okay. So when it comes to making music and constructing a song, do you typically do the verse first, or the hook, or the chorus first?
You saying like during the recording process?
When you actually writing it.
Oh, when I'm writing it. So I feel like most of my concepts start with a hook, because I feel like once I lock in a hook, the verse practically writes itself for me. Like, I hardly ever have trouble finishing a verse as opposed to finishing a hook, because the hook has to have way more attention and detail, because that's the part that's supposed to keep people like interested. You know what I mean? So like, the verse, I feel I'm always gonna be able to rap hard, but like, it don't make sense if you can't put a dope hook on it and make people, bob their head or at least follow along with you.
So being that you start out with the hook, right? And if we were to compare this to like a standard essay, basically you're starting out with the introduction, the attention grabber. So you move next to the body, right? And then you go to the conclusion. So would you ever do like a rough draft of a song and then scrap that one and redo another one like as a final draft and change some things around, or do you usually go with your first version?
No, I've switched a few songs around actually, because I might catch myself using the same word like a couple times, and I try to avoid that shit. You know what I mean? Unless I'm trying to structure something the right way, But if I find myself using similar words, I'll go in and like re-record the verse. No, yeah, there's been a few occasions where I go in and like switch some songs around.
Do you remember any of like your favorite bars that you spit?
I mean, not off the top of my head, because I try to memorize everything, man. So like, I could run through my little Rolodex right now. Like, um, favorite bar that I ever spit. I said, destined for greatness. You can see the signs ever since I was 8 or 9. So like that being said, like I said, like that's probably, I would say 8 or 9 was when I wrote my first rap ever, but it wasn't on nothing serious. So, but ever since then, I'm saying I had that confidence that, you know, I was gonna be something great. So, you know, destined for greatness. You can see the signs ever since I was 8 or 9. You know, that's probably one of my favorite.
Okay, so you got your song, you got your hook, your verse, everything down. When it comes to actually recording, how do you go about recording? Do you bring all your homies with you? Do you go alone? Do you smoke? Do you have your girl around?
I definitely smoke, and I only usually bring my girl and my manager. So like, which I'm not opposed to having homies in the studio, but I've never done it, so I'm not about to, you know, just invite a bunch of niggas to the studio just to be kicking it, hanging around. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just stick to what I've been doing. You know what I mean? And those two really keep me focused in there, and they'll let me know if some shit don't sound right. You know what I mean? Like, even though they don't want to step on my toes artistically, they will let me know if something ain't sounding right. Same thing with my engineers usually. So, you know, I try to definitely keep the real ones close to me.
Now, do you have like a favorite producer and a favorite like engineer that you always go to that you know could get your sound and everything that you want to write, or do you bounce around and experiment?
I would say that I've really only recorded with Cognac, and that's my guy. He really helped to like develop my sound lately, and he understands what I like too. So he kind of already works without me even having to really speak on it. But I did record with a new engineer for my last project, but that was pretty much the only time, because ever since I've been back in San Diego, most of my work's been done with Cognac. So definitely him. And my favorite producer is my boy Sonus, man. He's not from San Diego. He's like a little north of San Diego, but like I think like IE. But he go hard, man. Like my last tape was actually fully produced by him. And then like most of my singles have been produced by him as well. So I mean, he keep me stashed with beats, so I'm always trying to work on something of his.
So you been putting money in Cognac's pocket. Are you the reason why he got his new studio set up?
Nah, man. He put that work in for himself, man. He got hella clients, bro. I can't even cap. I need to go over there and see the new setup too. Okay. Playing.
So do you keep a pulse on? Well, before we get to that, who is your manager? Like who to you, and how did you meet him?
So he's actually one of my best friends from high school, and his name is Martine. So like, before I decided I wanted to take rap serious, when I was just putting shit on SoundCloud, he would create like business cards for me and flyers and be passing them out all over Dago while I'm still in Colorado. So he was putting in that groundwork for me already, you know what I mean? So I was like, when I got back here and decided to, you know, go full on with it, I told him, you know, well, basically he and I together are my manager, but, you know, because we're still both fresh in this, so like we're both like learning together, you know what I mean, going through the same experiences together and, you know, getting it done. Because I really, of course, we might do something different in the future, but right now he's the only person that I fully trust right now, you know what I mean, to even work with. And he's always keeping me on my A game, so you need somebody like that in your corner all the time.
So would you say he's definitely somebody you'll bring with you when you make it?
Well, all day. Like, when you see me, you see him. The only reason you don't see him right now is because nigga in Mexico partying it up, but you know what I mean? He usually be right here, you know what I mean? So that's my guy.
So who are some of the people from Dago that you kind of know that you maybe worked with before, or maybe you've seen them around on Instagram, or anybody you listen to right now from the town?
So I've really only collabed with a couple artists, but not too many from Dago. I have collabed with Danny Hanna. It hasn't been released, but I have collabed with Danny Hanna. I just came from Kazi's album drop last night. Kazi, he's, man, top 5 in the city, man, like no cap. He definitely does his thing. I fuck with Festive, Bree Blues, like, you know, these are people who I've like gotten to know within the scene, but I mean, unfortunately, we haven't had the chance to really work yet. You know.
So, how was Kazi's release party? Is that something that you want to do for your music too, or is that just one of those things that you stepped out to support one of your homies for?
I mean, all in the right time. I mean, granted, I don't have a project right now to set that up for, but I mean, I feel like it's a common thing that happens in hip hop, and it's always a good idea because you get people to come out, they get the early listen, the exclusive listen, and then you got a chance to sell merch, you got a chance to meet new people, and to just, even if it's other artists there, you have a way of like expanding your own fan base by having them there with you. So it's a dope experience, and I think it's something I will do in the future. But I mean, as far as his, man, that shit was lit. You know what I mean? 619 put it together. They're always putting together dope events, and excuse me, Kazi did his thing like usual. Excuse me.
When I was sitting here thinking about it. I'm pretty sure I seen you at a show probably in 2020 at Queen Bee. Because I was doing the show too.
I think so. That's probably how we follow each other. I think because
it may be.
Yeah.
I don't remember. My memory's messed up. But I remember at that show, we kind of had. We kind of had decent people. I think it was raining that day. We kind of had decent people. I was nervous. Were you nervous? Do you ever get nervous when you perform?
Sometimes it depends, but I mean it goes away real quick. Honestly, like as soon as I start rapping, I'm in my flow, and I'm already overthinking the rhyming, so I don't want to overthink being nervous and shit too. So I try to just execute it. But I don't think I was nervous that day. I was kind of upset that day. Because first off, like you said, it was raining. So like on the way in, they got this like porcelain floor. I almost slipped and bust my ass right there. And then afterwards, it was like some BS with homie like trying to walk me off the stage early, even though I was granted like a full 15 minutes. So just some hater shit. But we got through it.
Did you ever get paid for that show?
I believe I did. I think that was the one. You have to sell like X amount of tickets in order to even get money. So I definitely had people show up, that was dope in itself because I sold way more tickets than I needed to. But yeah, the night just kind of didn't end how we wanted it to.
Do you have any tips for any artists like pre-show preparation?
I say rehearse it, man. Rehearse, like get your boys together, your family, whoever, and go through that shit as if you're really performing. You know what I mean? Understand what your stage looks like. Me and Martine, we went to Queen Bee's beforehand and scoped out the stage. Asked what kind of like lighting they would have. How we got to bring our music. Like just be prepared. Like nobody's gonna ever clown you for being too prepared. You know what I'm saying? So like just be on your shit.
Did you bring your own DJ? Do you have?
No, I don't have no DJ, man. Like I feel like I'm one of them rappers with like no resources, man. But like I'm just out here, man. Like with Queen Bee's, I think all we had to do was like bring a USB or like plug in your phone or something, but no, I don't have a DJ, man.
So, what is your favorite part about doing music?
My favorite part, man, is having people relate to the shit. Cause like I said, I already like it. Whatever I create, I like it. You know what I'm saying? So the greatest feeling for me is when that feeling is mutual. When a song is understood without me having to explain it. Like that's the greatest feeling, man. And I have people who really like intently listen to me. So I try to make sure I'm saying stuff that's really going to feed your mind. If it don't feed your mind, it's going to make you feel good. So that's basically my lane right there.
All right. As far as the music scene in the city right now, do you feel like it's at a good place? Do you think it could get better? Is there anything that you think we could do better as a city to do?
I feel like it's always room for improvement, no matter how high you get. But I like what's happening in San Diego. It's a lot more collaboration happening. I feel like it's a lot more bridging the gap between like, more the street rap and more like the lyrical rap. I feel like people are coming together more to just help put each other on the same platforms, to help spread the news just about what's happening out here, because it's too much talent to go unnoticed. And for real, like it's only a matter of time before San Diego is like a mecca for music, because we really have the talent here. We really have people busting their ass, working hard. So I think y'all really gonna see something in a matter of a few years. just be on the lookout for new music, man. I'm trying to drop 2 new singles before the month is over, so just be on the lookout for those. For those who don't know me, follow me on all social media platforms at Cold Hard Cass. Yeah, man, and go stream my latest EP, Pain and Discipline, on all platforms. Kasston.com too. Go check out my merch. Go check out my photos, my videos, all that.